It's gonna come down to Lotus is gonna lead the charge against the sentients. And you're gonna be
Yeah.
there.
I was thinking that too, from what I did pay attention. I could also see the, like their guardians or whatever the hell they were, parental figures. What would happen if they came in the game?
The other sentients? Wait, what do you mean her other guardians?
Well, I said...
I didn't hear you right.
For, yeah. So, are these sentients and parental guardians or what? Like...
The sentients are the race that the Orokin were fighting, and that's the whole reason why the Orokin created the infestation and the Tenno, was to combat the sentients. So basically the Orokin were getting their asses handed to them by the sentients, and they're like, we need to make like a weapon that'll... Shit! Okay, sorry, he was dying.
I just realized that, my frame didn't have any revives. I thought they recharged.
Clutch.
I don't know what to say. Kind of threw us over for 15 waves.
I'm sorry, I thought they recharged. I didn't check
That's
them.
cool.
When I got on, I had my login reward, meaning the revives should recharge.
That's true. Anyway, so basically the sentients are those people... Okay, so when you read the Excalibur Codex entry, it's an Orokin person who would type that up like, hey, this is what our technology failed us, because the Orokin, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Ness, are from Earth, right?
The Orokins were humans.
So Earth.
The Orokins were basically the human race, yes.
And so basically they're fighting these beings called the sentients, which is what Lotus is. So this humanoid alien species whose technology was just so way more far advanced than ours that every time we advanced it didn't even matter because they were already way ahead of us. And so let's just back up. So to try and combat the sentients, they created the infestation to try and wipe out the sentients. But basically what happened was the infestation wasn't strong enough to kill the sentients. It was just basically like, pfft. It's like treating the common flu basically. So they're just like, alright, whatever, no problem. And so the Orokin were like, alright, well what do we do now? We're losing bad. So they sent, this is probably the area where Ness could probably tell you better about, because this goes into the actual origin of the Tenno, where they sent these people into the Void, and I believe in the Void they were infected by the infestation, and it gave them abilities and everything, and then when they came back, when the Orokin recovered the Tenno, they put the Warframe around them, which enhanced the abilities the infestation gave them. And so basically, all Warframes are human, but they're just affected by the infestation a different way. And so, okay, where was I going? Anyways, that's who the sentients are.
Yeah, I mean you're pretty right. The infestation actually started. The infestation was actually created by the humans accidentally. Kind of like think of like Resident Evil-ish in a way. And that's where like the Tenno came into play. Like the Tenno were humans that could resist the infestation. So like their genetics, however, like in real life, there's people that just don't get affected by certain diseases. Yeah, that's kind of what happened with the Tenno. Yeah, they're immune. And so these Tenno, they found these people, and that's when they would get certain powers. And that's where Dark Sector comes into play, like the original Excalibur.
Which is what armor I have on, minus the helmet.
Yep. He was infected, and instead of going... Because what happens is when people get infected by it, they go crazy. And then that's when they, like, mutate. Like, the pain is so great that they just like lose their mind and become psycho.
Oh, like a lead bee.
Yep. And so the first Tenno, he got infected by who was called the Nemesis, which was basically Nyx. It looks like Nyx. But anyway, he got infested and then it turned positive for him. Like his Excalibur suit, his prototype grew on him, he got an enhanced glaive, like a glaive was his ability that he could throw around. And so that's when they kind of discovered that certain people were just immune and you could enhance them positively. And so once these people were discovered, they would treat them, and that's how they would get their certain powers. Anyway, and they were basically like, think of them as kind of like the primes. Like they were the original. Like Ember Prime was one, Excalibur Prime was one, Rhino Prime. All these people were the original Tenno. Well, anyway, once there is on PC, there isn't over here. Not yet. There might be, but so once these people were found, they did their training. Then they went and did their slaughtering of the sentient beings, and they came back. And I think what I was talking to Nick about it was the reason that they slaughtered the Orokin, or the original human race, was because they've seen what the infestation does to people, and this was kind of their way, kind of like Red Veil in a way, like they just wanted to purge. Like they're like, we're not going to let this happen, we're not going to let the plague spread worse than what it is. You know, so once they slaughtered the Orokins, they left and went to the Void, because the Void was the only place that they couldn't really be followed, or so they thought anyway. So they went to the Void and slumbered, and then that's where the Grineer are the clones of the sentient beings that have been recloned over time. Because the Grineer, the more they're recloned, the lesser like they are to actually being close to the sentient beings, because their genetics are just getting worse. So that's when they started hunting the Tenno down again. Because the sentients are making their return, so they're trying to make sure the Tenno can't rise again. And that's where Lotus comes into play, because she doesn't want... Lotus killed the other daughter that was the queen at the time, and took over. And she was supposed to eradicate the Tenno, but since the process of the sentients, they can't have kids, because it's so demanding on them, Lotus adopted the Tenno as her own children. So that's why she looks out for the Tenno. And that's kind of where they left it off. Now they left it off at the sentients are coming back, and Lotus is going to be hunted down by the sentients. So I think now is our time to kind of repay Lotus for all she's done for us. So
yeah.
to defend her. But that's basically how it is. Like Lotus adopted the Tenno, and that's why she's waking them all up. Is that she wants to save the Tenno from there.
I got that part. I just didn't know the rest of the backstory.
I scratch your back, you scratch mine, kind of thing.
I think so. And you know, whether her intentions of saving us were good or not, but I feel that the sentients, if you ever played Mass Effect, I almost get kind of like that vibe, like the Reapers. Like the Reapers are gonna always be there, no matter what you do. They're gonna come back. Like the cycle's gonna repeat. And I feel that that's how the sentients are in this game. Like, hey, like you can wipe them out, you can do whatever, but it's cycle. Like they're gonna come back, and they're gonna try and purge and be the ones. And I feel like Lotus knew that, and so that's why she aligned herself with the Tenno, so that when they do return, she's already got the Tenno on her side. Like, what way to be more powerful than having powerful people?
Because I mean, look at what we're doing to the Grineer right now. Like, one Tenno can take on armies of other enemies.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like the lore is actually really cool, but it just sucks that a lot of speculation too. Like a lot of